What's going on? It's the RapNerd, and I just got back from seeing an early screening of Jurassic World Dominion, and I dug it. Let me start by saying Jurassic Park, the very first one, is literally one of my favorite movies of all time. It fits in that list. If you see my Letterboxd D favorite movies of all time, you'll see that's like number 2 on that list. I don't know where I'll order it, but that's up there. So that being said, I pretty much like every movie in the franchise. Like, there's not one that I can be like, I don't like that. So take that with a grain of salt from what I'm about to say. Because for one thing that I've seen a lot with the newer movies, the Jurassic World films, first one and Fallen Kingdom, it's kind of a mixed bag of like, it's kind of a mixed bag of how people feel. So if I don't really know how you as a viewer are gonna feel watching this one, so I'm just gonna say what I feel, and I enjoyed it a lot, man. I like that it's literally feels like an amalgamation of all the movies that we've seen in this franchise into this one. It's big, it's grand, it's epic. It goes different places that I didn't expect it to go, and it just makes for a really, really fun film. And I think there are definitely things that concepts and parts of the script and story that you're gonna have to lend your imagination to buy it. Because I feel like if you're very punctual, you might not. You might be like, come on, come on. For a lot of things, for certain, like I said, the way story plots work out, when people show up certain places that are very convenient, that's all there, So if you can lend yourself to that, though, it makes sense within the context, even though it doesn't really make sense. But I'm just putting that out there. There might be some head scratchers because the whole reasoning behind all of this happened is definitely something that if you're not behind the idea, you might not like it. So, and I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to leave it out to you for interpretation. But I'm cool with it, I was thoroughly entertained for 2.5 hours. I'm telling you, I personally think it did the whole franchise justice. I think it was shot really, really well. I like the use of longer takes. How can I say, not longer takes, but they use longer takes in small instances, if you will, like certain scenes where you show a character on screen, and if you show something else, you can easily cut to a different angle to show it, but the camera just move with it and follow a character. So I really like that, because it kind of, me as an audience member, the long takes kind of bring me with the character and puts me in their shoes. So I really, really like that. One in particular, my favorite, I think probably one-track shot, involves Claire when she's in water. I think there's like a screenshot out there, but the way they shoot that is, I think it's done so well with it being a one-track shot that it just builds tension. And that's the one thing about this movie, is tension everywhere, because with this being, kind of the legacy film, you don't really know who they could kill off, because I feel like it's fair game. Everybody in this movie, besides the new characters, I'll say that, all of the returning characters have been in these movies for so long that it's kind of like, if you kill them off, I can see it happening. This is the 6th movie in the franchise, so it put me in a space of tension, like, oh shit, are they gonna go? Please don't let them go. Like, there were literally moments where I thought some of the returning characters were gonna get killed off. So it builds tension as the other ones do, because the dinosaurs are so unhinged, and there are a bunch of oh shit moments that dinosaurs do things and you don't expect. And me personally, I haven't watched a lot of the trailers. I watched like maybe the first one, but I pretty much avoided everything. Like I said, I wanted to go in here clean and without many expectations, just like going to the movie, because I liked the first trailer. So knowing, I don't know if that helped me or not, but there were a lot of things that I didn't recognize. Like, I ain't gonna say it, never mind, let myself. But what I really, really enjoy about the story too is, of course, the way it starts. It's pretty much 2 films in one at the beginning, and they just kind of, the timelines kind of just end up boom, and then go forward together. And I like that with the new cast, right? It feels like it feels more like some type of Mission Impossible type thing. Like, it's more with the action side when it comes to Claire and Owen, and the motivation and storyline for them at the very beginning of the movie, it feels very, very like espionage action film. Like, especially my favorite sequence. My favorite sequence involves those two. Well, not those two, but that crew of the Jurassic World. It involves the Jurassic World crew when they go overseas to try and find something and learn some information. And I'm being really, really vague because I don't know what you know, what you don't. But they go overseas to look for something, and then it's like this huge action set piece that happens for like 10 minutes, and that whole sequence is just phenomenal. Like, it's handled. Of course, Mission Impossible is the extreme, but it's handled in a similar fashion, and it just makes for some really, really great action. And also, the one thing I do love about, you know, the Jurassic World aspect of the movie is showing the real world aspect of if Jurassic Park was a real thing and if these animals got loose. I mean, the place they go to overseas is like this underground, like, black market club where people sell dinosaurs and, you know, technology to control dinosaurs, and that's like 100% a thing that would happen if dinosaurs roamed the earth. People would weaponize them and sell them and try and do all the crazy shit that you can think of, and they really expound upon that a lot in you know, in this movie, and I love that they do that. Even before they get there, you know, there are flashes of the news and how accidents happen because these dinosaurs roaming the earth, and I just really like that take on, like, this is realistic and how it would happen if dinosaurs existed right now. And like I said, it's two movies, and then when you flip to the original Trinity from the first three movies, it just puts you back in that same mindset of how the older movies are. Especially, they do a good job of breaking up the themes, like, you know, you gotta watch it to understand what I'm saying. But they break the themes up, and when you get to the original Trinity, you get a lot of notes and notes from the theme from that movie, and it just feels like you just, you know, picked up right from Jurassic Park 3. And it feels good when you're with the three, you know, the original Trinity of Neo, Ellie, and Ian. It's just so cool to see their banter back and forth because, you know, they're catching up with each other, and if you're a follower of this franchise, you're catching up with them, and it's just a joy to see, like, that this universe has been going this long, and, you know, just, you know, it's just cool to see them interacting for so long, and I really enjoyed that. I also like that they didn't make Chris Pratt the funny guy in this movie. I feel like they gave him more of the heroics instead of like being the comedic relief, which went more to Ian, aka Jeff Goldblum's character, and I think his comedic relief was right in line with the character. I thought he had a lot of really funny things to say as far as not only being sarcastic, but he had the real reaction. Like, there's a part that happens at the end that Owen wants to go do. He says like, I gotta go do this, and Ian's like, what? Like, that makes zero sense. And, you know, the audience, we're thinking what he's thinking. So he's kind of the voice of the audience as he was in the first film. And I just freaking enjoyed it, man. And there were rumors, you know, when Jurassic World first happened, that this movie erases Jurassic Park 2 and 3. But in this film, in subtle ways, if you've seen them and you're fans of those movies, they subtly let you know that those movies are canon and we didn't erase those. And I like it because, like I said, I love all these movies. So to me, it's a joy to see them all connected. And yet another thing I really enjoy about this movie, if you're a fan of the entire franchise, you definitely see Easter eggs all over the place. Like, whether it be sequences recreated in a small way, whether it be shots recreated in a small way, different things happening that happened in the past movies, things being said, things you see. There is so much homage to the first three that there's some things that made me smile. And again, they're so subtle. Some are so subtle that, like, if you haven't seen those movies, or if you're not really aware or remember a lot from those movies, you're not gonna catch it. So I definitely think it's worth watching all of them. I mean, it's kind of late, you know, to just watch all of them now. But I think if they're not fresh on your mind, I think it would be a good thing to revisit, because they make references, small references that, like I said, are gonna go over your head if you don't understand it. And yeah, one of the things that people probably will complain about, there are a lot of characters that are just, you know, literally just there for the plot. as a plot device. Like, they introduce characters in like some epic ways, and they don't really do shit. They do like one thing, and then you never see them again. So if you have an issue with that, that might be something you can poke holes into. But other than that, man, like, is the movie perfect? No, I gotta say that because for some reason people think that when you don't talk about the issues, you think it's perfect. No, there are issues that you can pick out. But for me personally, there was nothing so jarring that I have to bring it up. So I can honestly say I had an entertaining time. I enjoyed the shit out of this. It didn't let me down. It kept the legacy there. I was kind of scared because Matrix Revolution let me down, and The Matrix is one of those franchises that I love. I love the first three. Jurassic Park's the same way, and I'm happy to say I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. This will be one of my favorites of the year. I want to see it again, and this is like what summer blockbusters are about. Like, this is a summer blockbuster. That's pretty much all I can say without spoiling it, so I'm gonna get out of here before I end up saying something I shouldn't. You've seen the movie. What did you think of it? Let me know how you felt about it. Leave a comment below. Where do you rank this one? But if you like this kind of content, like, subscribe, and until next time, peace.
RapNerd Productions, no capping, that's word to mommy.